right? So the next topic is hash collision. So it's a state when the resultant hashes for two or more data in the data set wrongly map the same place in the hash table, right? So how to deal with the hashing collision? So we can resolve it using two broad ways of there are two broad ways for collision resolution. Separate chaining. So it's an array of linked list implementation, right? So we'll see an example for separate chaining, right? So for example, the key values are going to be 23, 13, 21, 14, 7, 8, and 15 respectively. And the hash function is going to be given by hash of key is equal to key mod 7, right? So whenever you apply this hash function, 23 mod 7 is going to be 2, 13 mod 7 is going to be 6, right? 21 mod 7 is going to be 0, and again 14 mod 7 is going to be 0, 7 mod 7 is going to be 0, right? So whenever you are going to have a collision, you are going to represent it by means of this separate chaining, which is an array of linked list implementation. So this is how it is being organized, right? So you get 0 bucket address 0 whenever you have 21, 14, and 7, right? So 21, 14, 7, it corresponds to the bucket address. The hash key values 21, 14, 7, it corresponds to the bucket address 0. So 8 and 15. So 8 mod 7 is going to be 1, and 15 mod 7 is going to be 1. So 8 and 15, they corresponds to the bucket 1, and it is represented by means of a linked list. Again, for this input, 23 mod 7 corresponds to 2, and right. So for the element 2 also, you are going to have a linked list representation with only one element. And finally, for 13 mod 7, you get 6, right? So this is how we will be representing the hash collision by means of a linked list representation, right? So this is about working with hashing, right? So in your textbook, you have this a very good example, right? So you are going to generate hash key based on the instructor ID. So you are going to use a simple formula, sum of the digits in the instructor ID mod 8. So based on which you are going to assign the different instructor records to different buckets. So whenever two or more records, they refer to the same bucket address, a bucket collision occurs. So what we do is that we go for a bucket chaining, right? So a bucket can contain at most two records. So since the bucket 5 corresponds to more than 4 records, so you are going to have go for bucket chaining. So bucket chaining can be used to accommodate many records that corresponds to a particular bucket address.